First thing first, we always got to make sure that a firearm that we're going to talk about is empty and safe, and this one is empty and safe, as you all can see. I'll close it up now. Hello everyone, I'm Snapshot, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Snapshot's Corner. Today, or first thing first, first we made sure that the firearm was empty. But in my YouTube channel, the majority of the videos will be about firearms, where we talk about firearms, and I will always emphasize the joy and the happiness of shooting. Because shooting and hunting is a main hobby of mine. It's natural that I make videos with this content, and also of course a natural thing is reloading. Reloading is a natural thing when you shoot and hunt a lot. Today we will have a good look at this vintage hunting firearm. This is a Valmet 412. It's made in Finland and it's a combination hunting gun. It has a 222 Remington rifle barrel, that's the lower barrel, and the upper barrel is a 12 gauge, and it's a bit windy today. And the upper barrel is a 12 gauge standard cartridges. This is a combination gun and it's a vintage hunting firearm. This one is not in production anymore, but you can get the Morochi 512 and Morochi 612, I think it's called. I'm not too sure about that. Also, the German made Krieghoff has technical specifications similar to the 412, the Finnish made Valmet 412. This one you can have in different barrels. Today I have the combination barrel on it. I don't have anything else, so that's okay. I'll take it apart for you. Forearm off, and that's it. Very, very easy. And as you can see here, I'm not pointing the gun at you, I'm just pointing the lover, because it's an all steel frame surrounding the breech barrel. As I said, this is the combination set barrels, 22 Remington, or triple deuce Remington as it's popularly said, and a 12 gauge standard cartridges on the upper. The upper barrel is half choked or modified, and I have been shooting it a little bit, and they shoot to almost same point of aim. The shotgun spread is a tad bit high when you compare to the rifle hit, just a tad bit, and that's okay because the shotgun barrel is on top, so it's probably supposed to be like that, I think. And also when you follow a forest bird or something that you want to shoot with the shotgun, you make sure that the red dot is just underneath, and then you are spot on. I'll just put it together again for you. It's very easy, like that, and put the forend on, like that. An easy gun to put, or firearm to put together, and an easy gun and firearm to carry around in the forest. It's a bit on the heavy side, 3.5 kilos, but I think that's okay. As I showed you, this is the combination barrel. I would like to have a double rifle barrel, but I think that's off my budget, because I would like to have a double barrel in 9.3x74 for big game hunt and dangerous game hunt and the wild boar hunt, when you actually need the second follow-up shot immediately. You could say that the shotgun barrel is for game up to 25, maybe at most 30 meters. I would try to not shoot beyond 25 meters with a shotgun anyway. And those targets, they are appearing suddenly if you are sitting on a roe deer post and the game suddenly appear in the back of you. You can use the shotgun if it's close enough, of course. The rifle barrel, the triple deuce barrel, is good for small game out to 200 yards plus. I've tried it and I've shot it and I measured the velocity, and the velocity on the triple deuce barrel is 3,000 feet plus. That makes 936 meters per second. And that's a fast screaming round, for me at least. I know there is other calibers that is even faster, but for the small game hunt that I do, that is more than adequate. And I know that the trajectory of the triple deuce, the point of aim and the point of impact crosses at about 40 meters and a little bit more than 200 meters. So it's a flat shooting round, and at the 100-150 meters the bullet will go 2 inches higher than where you aim. And 2 inches is not much, like this, and 2 inches is about 5 centimeters high at those ranges. So it's shooting kind of flat, and if your game is around 100 meters plus, you just aim here low and that's it. And probably you don't need to do that. That's not at the roe deer at least. You can just aim, and if you hit the vitals, it will go down in tracks. Here you can see some targets shot at about 40 meters. That's where the point of aim and point of impact crosses on the upper arch of the trajectory. And as you can see on these targets, it's pretty well centered, but that's after 12-15 shots. When I adjusted the red dot, so it is on. Well, before we go any further, I would like to tell you all the story about last year's hunt. About 3 or 4 kilometers in that direction over there, that will be east of the cabin. I had gone over a mountain with my hunting dog Daisy, the old Danish pointer, and she took out to the left about 150 meters in a steep, hilly, stony terrain where I was not able to follow her. And after 5 to 10 minutes she came chasing down, and she was chasing a big capercaillie. She was actually been up in that hill and fetching a capercaillie for me. And the capercaillie landed. The capercaillie is a huge, the biggest grouse there is in the forest. A big black bird, you can look it up. She had chased that down to me, and the capercaillie sat on a branch about 80 meters in front of me. And that's a tad bit too long for my shotgun. At that time I was carrying my double-barreled shotgun, and by all means I love that gun very much. It's a very good shooter. But if I had had the combination gun at that time with the rifle barrel, that big capercaillie would have been in my freezer, and it would have been good for New Year's dinner. Yay! This combination firearm is the perfect companion for the driven hunt. In a driven hunt you have a short-legged dog like the ducks, and the dog handler and the ducks will chase the fox into a line of hunters that are posted in a line or an arch. So they will finish off the roe deer in a human way. Sometimes also the handler get to shoot, so the handler often carries a short-barreled rifle or short-barreled shotgun for his, or a combination gun for his handling. This is at least a short prescription of this kind of hunt. I've been taking part in this kind of hunt previously, but it's some 30 years ago, I think. Well, back to the firearm in question. This is the Valmet 412. It's built like something you would carry into battle. It's very rugged, very solid build. It has a soft rubber recoil pad. And the wood is kind of nice. It's more standard. It has nice checkering, and the checkering makes you able to handle the gun safely even when it's wet. The 12 gauge is a half choke or modified, and it makes a nice pattern on 25 meters. I've tried it out, and it shoots approximately the same as the rifle. Little bit high maybe compared to the rifle, but not too much, and that's only natural because the shotgun barrel is the upper and the rifle barrel is the lower barrel. Yeah, the shotgun barrel uses the front trigger. The rifle barrel uses the rear trigger. Both triggers have nice let-off, and the rifle barrel, it's especially important if you want to have an accurate rifle shot at some distance, and it breaks like a glass rod. It's very nice. To have only one shotgun barrel might be a con for some. But then you can look into drillings. Drillings have 2 shotgun barrels and 1 rifle barrel. I think I'm more than sufficient with 1 shotgun barrel and 1 rifle barrel. I have added a sling to this combination gun. The sling is a little bit long, but as you can see, it's a little bit long. But that's because I like to carry the combination gun or even a shotgun across my back, so the dog can do the work before I get to shoot. But if the dog will tell me if there is birds in the area, and then I'll take the shotgun off my back and carry it in the ready position. Not in the shoulder, but ready to go. It has a tang safety. It's on safe, and that's on a hunting gun. I think that is where a safety is supposed to be, on the tang. And as this one is a break open action and a rugged solid one as well, you have all the main functions right here: trigger, safety and lever. If you see here, it has like a locking mechanism that covers the upper barrel. And if you look to the Krieghoff and the Maroczy firearms, you see some of them have the same function. Also, it has a ventilated rib, half rib, and in the back here there is a rail for mounting optics. I have mounted a red dot Hawke on it, and it's a 3 MOA red dot. It's a very low cost red dot, but it's the only one that was available at the time I was acquiring one. And it has 11 increments of illumination on the red dot, so you can tune it in for your eyes and for your light. It also has a cover here for the battery, and when you unscrew this one, in there you have the adjustment for left and right, and you can use the top of this little cap to adjust, or you can use a little screwdriver. There is only one con on this red dot sight, and that's you have to remember to turn it off, because if you do not turn it off, the battery will be gone. It has, as I said, 11 increments of illumination. But as long as you, after you have been hunting or out shooting, turn it to 0, you're good to go. But a good idea is to have batteries easily available. I have at the cabin, and that's good enough for me. And after being toting this combination firearm around, the red dot seems to stick very good at the rail, so, and it's very flush down to the rail, so I think it's good. There is only one thing missing, and that's a cheek racer. A cheek racer here would be good, because you see, when I put the combination firearm up to my cheek, you see, if I will be natural, I will be here. So I have to raise my, to see the red dot clearly. I'm all the way up here, and that's about, yeah, or maybe an inch or something of a cheek racer. I have a cheek racer on order, and it will be added later. Well, that should be some adequate information about the Valmet 412. A very nice combination firearm, rifle, shotgun. At least, but last but not least, when I was younger, in my 20s, I read a lot of Norwegian hunting magazines. Villmarksliv, Jakt og Fiske. And they all had ads and articles of the Valmet 412, and I still remember them. And I always actually wanted the Valmet 412. Now I have one after 30 to 40 years. I'm liking it more and more as I use it. And I think it will be a steady, reliable hunting companion for years to come. And now, let us see some hunting and shooting videos with this Valmet 412. I adjusted the Hawk red point 4 clicks down from the first 3 shots. And with a combination gun like this, you only shoot 3 shots, and that's also when you try for the game permit, that's what you do. Take out the spent one. And I have now a new one in my pocket. Here you can see it. It's loaded to specs. According to Ladejournalen, that's a loading book we have in Norway. I think I have one more round. Yeah, one more round. Same round, I only shoot 3. So this is not a firearm that you shoot very much with. Not long strings of shots. It's made for hunting, so it's 1 shot, 1 kill. Like my big game rifle that I had a video on previously. My Ruger number 1, 1 shot. And Shirley, the hunter, who is dependable, depends on only 1 shot. He needs to place that shot very well. Well, now I got to stop talking and shoot. I had to adjust the Hawk red dot 3 more steps down. And I hope this will be the 3 last shots, because I have no more ammunition. I need to reload. I'll do these 3 shots, and I hope it's good enough for tomorrow's fox hunt. Because tomorrow is the first day fox hunting in Norway, and I will use this combination gun for that. Try to lure the fox in. Good one. Hello there. I'm trying to... trying to call in the fox. Call the fox in with a whistle. resembles the small doe deer or the kid doe deer calf call for the mother, because it's not deer season yet, but fox season is open. This is the 15th of July, and it's the first day of fox season in Norway. I've been here for half an hour plus, and I'll give it 10 more minutes and that's it, I think. And I'll move to another location. That resembles the sound of the roe deer calf calling for the mother, and that's what on the red fox menu. So it should be good, but I haven't seen anything today. Might be too warm and too early. Well, catch you later. As you all might be able to see, it's the twilight now, and I tried to call in the fox for 45 minutes approximately, and right now I'm hiking back to the cabin. It's just over the hill here, so it's not every time you're out and to try to call in the fox that you will see fox, but most likely it's too warm and it's too early in the year. Hello again, and welcome to the 100-meter range. Just checked the mail before we went to the range, and this one has arrived. This is Tor Boen Cheek Riser that I will add to my Valmet 412. It's the first time I try it on, and you will all be a witness to if it suits or fits or whatever. So I will just... Oh yeah. It might be good. I think like this. Let's see if it fits. I'm shooting bench today too. Well, the Cheek Riser is good. Yeah. This Tor Boen Cheek Riser seems to be very nice, actually. When I'm shooting shotgun, I will be just on there. Yep, you see the cheek is making a little fold on the top there. That's perfect. I will now shoot at 100 meters the hunting ammunition in the rifle part. Yeah, the Hawker Red Dot has 1 MOA increments on adjustment, so that's kind of, I know some other optical sites have a quarter MOA and a half MOA. This one has 1 MOA, and as I'm 5 centimeters high at the 100 meters, I will adjust 2 MOA down. Up, down. That's 2 clicks. One, 2, that's it. Then I can be in the middle at 100 meters. That's my calculation anyway. If it works, we'll have to see. Maybe a tad bit to the right, I'm not sure. 3 shots. That's what it takes before this tin barrel heats up. Yes. As you probably saw at the first picture, I had to adjust the red dot 2 MOA up and 2 MOA right. That's 2 clicks right and 2 clicks up. I was the middle hit point was in the 10x, but I had 3 9s around the middle of the target, and this is 100 meters, and on 200 meters I would like to have it zeroed on 200 or 40, because then the trajectory will be flatter. So I will adjust 2 clicks up, that's 2 MOA up 5 centimeters. And if it hits approximately 5 centimeters high at 100 meters, that's okay. Then it's perfect. Yes, I was a little bit high, and this red dot has 1 MOA adjustment on 100 meters or at 100 yards. So I will adjust 1 more down, or just 1 down again, and I hope it's just a tad bit over the middle, and that will be good for up to 150-200 yards. Here you can see the last target, and there's always 1 flyer out. I've added a few pictures of another combination firearm. It belongs to my cabin neighbor up where we have the cabin, and this one is an Antoni Soli, and it is in 6.5 by 55 Swede and at 20 gauge, and that's also a very good combination. Together with a few pictures of my Valmet 412. And I hope you will enjoy the pictures, and we for sure enjoy our combination firearms, and we use them for hunting all the time. Thank you all for watching, and see you in the next one. Hey, you gotta wait for the final. It's right here. And if you have watched some of my previous videos, you have probably seen my hunting dog, the old Danish pointer Daisy. She is now on a vacation holiday, summer holiday, up at the cabin, and here you can see how she looks like when she is on summer holiday.